Okay, lesson 7, we are going to discuss inquiries today. Now, inquiries is probably my least favorite subject, and the reason for that is they're so minor that I'm just going to put it out there. The credit bureaus, I don't feel that they take them seriously. This is a personal issue that I am, structuring against the bureaus right now in new letters that I'm designing, a whole new approach. Typically, let's say an inquiry doesn't belong on there. You've never heard of it before. You can dispute those like any other item, but the credit bureau is then going to send a letter back to you telling you you've got to contact that company. And then what you do is you dispute it through them. And it's not so much that they take the item off, it's that they send you a letter apologizing or something, or they don't respond, and then you go back to the credit bureaus and show them that proof. And lately I've been doing a lot of focusing on those clients that were within a shopping period, meaning if you go seek a car loan and they throw your credit out to a bunch of agencies under like the umbrella of that initial inquiry, under the rate shopping rule, you have 30 days to do that. And so many people with their monitoring services and so on, they are they're not even responding to the letters. They're just sending back a little worksheet that explains what inquiries are, and they're kind of ignoring the subject. So there's like this black hole there. They know that people are going to struggle with wanting to keep pursuing removing of inquiries because they don't weigh so much that they can really just destroy your credit heavily. So they can add up, and yeah, they can affect you negatively, but that's all within 10% of your score. And so I feel that all three of the credit bureaus are not giving inquiries the attention that they deserve. And that is one way that they're looking at it. What's the big deal? It's a small little issue. So here's some good news and why I just explained that all to you. Inquiries are only on your report for 2 years, and they're only going to affect you negatively for a year. And so it will be something that will pass. Let's say you've had an inquiry on there for 6 months and you're just now dealing with your credit repair. In 6 months you can get those off. So if you want to write a series of letters disputing those, go ahead and do so. I'm actually preparing for one of my associates a letter that we're letting all three credit bureaus know that we are going to report them, because I'm really getting tired of it myself. There are people that might watch this video that are professional that will say, no, I can get inquiries off. But they're doing things that I've tried and I've done. And I looked at videos online, books, publications. I've written all the letters. Just recently, they are becoming more stubborn with inquiries, and I feel it's because they just hope that you're going to go away. Who's going to really sue them or complain? But I feel that they need to get some, they deserve to get some fines for that. So I'm going to pursue that. If things are working for you, share it with other students on the forum, and let's get to the bottom of that. I've got 3 worksheets on here. One is I am going to share that. I was just going to go through those with you really quick, but I love doing that. So here's defining inquiries. Hard inquiries, soft inquiries. It distinguishes, between the two. Hard inquiries are the ones that affect you negatively. So if you get online and apply for 10 credit cards, that's 10 hard inquiries. A soft inquiry would be I guess a good example would be you just looking at your credit. Or a service that monitors that, or let's say you're paying TransUnion to look at your report. There's actually a third type of inquiry. They're more like a neutral inquiry, to where government agencies, a renter could look up your credit, limited information and such, but that would for the most part be a soft inquiry as well. So there's a bunch of things under the umbrella of a soft inquiry. So go ahead and read that off as well. Hard inquiries, can I have them removed from my credit reports? And so here is the research that we have put in, and we've utilized some of this in our disputing process. Writing a letter explaining to the company, between such and such date, I was rate shopping. Here's all the proof. The letters we're getting back is kind of like, I don't know, smart aleck if you asked me. So this is a work in progress. You can put in a ton of work. Ask yourself, is it worth it? If you really, have done some negative inquiring of your credit and it is on you, you want to do the work to get those removed, it might be worth it. But there's a great number of you out there that feel that it may be worth it, and my advice is, perhaps that it's not affecting you as negative as you might believe. If your score really has just been destroyed, I might be able to pinpoint something that is affecting it far more greatly. Now, and then this is the Inquiries 101, just a bunch of great information on there so you can know about inquiries. But in a nutshell, they're removed in a very similar way that you would remove any other item. This could change, as I promise you guys will know anything that works for the taking off of the inquiries if the credit bureaus want to start taking it seriously. That's, that for the most part is good. Now, if you're raising a limit of a credit card, that in most cases, if not all the time, is going to be a new inquiry as well. So be aware of that. Depending on your situation, it's just not going to be a big deal. And I feel in most cases that is it. So when you guys first marked up your credit report, I had you mark a number of things, but take a new color marker and go down and highlight dates of inquiries so that you can see zones in which those were taken. Maybe put a notation for where the line is for the ones that are older than a year and those that are within a year. And then if those dates are bunched together from a cluster of inquiries, pay attention to that, because you could just write the credit bureau letter and say, hey, why is my monitoring service saying this is affecting me negatively? And it was really just one inquiry that I used to get into my vehicle. They should be responsive to that. They really should. So, keep track of that. Any inquiries over a year, that is your grounds for wanting it removed. I don't see that happen, but there is a limit on that. So if it's been there for 26 months, send a letter, tell them it's been on there too long. They would remove something like that immediately. But again, it doesn't even really affect you all that much when it's that old anyway. So yeah, read through these letters, know of inquiries, share questions in the forum. If something's worked for you, as we're getting further along here in the course, you're going to start finding yourself in situations where you can be teaching others, and that's what we'd like to see happen. If you can teach your fellow students, I know the ins and outs of credit really, really well, so I'm just going to give you an honest approach. But am I perfect? Do I know everything? No. I'd love to learn from you guys if you have it, so bring it. But really, the rules for inquiries, I'm just finding that the credit bureaus are not really following like they should right now, and they're not responding the way they should. So, yeah, let's see what happens there. Next week, we are going to ramp up to do your next disputes, second round disputes. Some of this information, other companies would stretch out over several months. We're condensing it. So it is in the right time frame, but this is information that you're going to be using later on as well. And but again, I think timing is really good on it. So most of you are going to be really ready to do your second round disputes next week and the 7 to 10 days after that. So Keep up the good work. You guys are doing great. All your past steps, keep revising and revamping those and putting those into effect. Live it. I'll talk to you next week.